Yep, this is me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well, it all started 3 weeks ago when I forgot to turn my mic back on when I started this recording session. So, you're stuck with voiceover me. We're listening to Fly or Die, Fly or Die, Fly or Die, parentheses World War, by Jamie Branch today. So here we go. God, look at this idiot. Your mic's off, dummy. It was a hard intro to process. I went into this album completely blind. I didn't even know it was a jazz record when I clicked play there. So the album really impressed me. That was me talking about the bagpipe sounding drone in the background. You listen to the intro; it's got like this thrum underlying everything, and that's what I'm talking about here. God, I went on and on about this. I think I talked for about 10 minutes about the intro, just based off of the first minute that I heard. So maybe let's skip ahead here back to where the music is. There we go, finally. I like the drums on this too. There's Jamie making their appearance. I also really liked how the intro song went from an almost energetic, optimistic sound that's full of potential energy, like when you first wake up in the morning and go for a really early morning run. It's that sort of energy that got that vibe from the start, and then it slid into a funeral pall. It sounded like you're in a cathedral all of a sudden. I still don't know if that was sort of foreshadowing, if that's something that the rest of the band, because I know now this album was made posthumously. Jamie Branch unfortunately passed away, and I find that out later in this recording. Transition. Yes. Oh yeah. Look at me go. I'm just digging it. Oh yeah. Looking so cool. So one other thing I wanted to mention about that intro, how it slid from that potential energy to feeling like you're in a funeral, that's something that will come up. Oh, hey, look, this is when I realized that I wasn't recording. All right, back to the regular voice. I love that face. Yep. Oh, you're an idiot. Alright, just realized I did not have my mic on for the first song and a half, so I guess I'll fix that in post, a little voiceover. Anyways, I'm digging this so far. The amount of different moods and emotions in the first 4 minutes of this album have really impressed me. I can already see why this album's gotten so much praise. I don't want to go through this entire record without learning a little bit about the backstory here, because it feels like the backstory is really important to the album title, its existence, and who is Jamie Branch? I've never heard of them, and so I'm really curious to find out more. The flamenco feel to it. I hope it's really good. Surprising nobody. It sounds like there's a lot of room allowed for experimentation just off of that violin solo, that like long shrieking sort of sound. It feels like they had carte blanche, free reign to do whatever they wanted with their solos. I'm expecting a lot of variety of sounds, influences, experimentation on this album. You know, I don't listen to too much jazz, free jazz, anything like that. It's not really modern jazz either. You have Bill Evans Trio, big band, stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like I'm thoroughly out of my depths here on this one, but I really like it so far. I really appreciate the opening song a lot. I feel like if it just dove right into Borealis dancing, wouldn't really know how to interpret the music, but because they had that super somber but also kind of hopeful 2-minute opening track, I feel like I should be interpreting this as a celebration of life, kind of. Yeah, we were at the funeral a couple of minutes ago, but then they throw in this dancing tune. Let's keep going. That's enough of me talking. Okay, what a combination of sounds there in this break of between the music. That violin, like going up and up and up. It's that classic anxiety-inducing. Feel like you're having a shortness of breath, and then the walking bass line, like everything is totally chill. It's like lounge music with the trumpet sort of playing somewhere between those two emotions. What a cool effect. I wonder if that, I call it like the bagpipe drone, that long drawn out hum. I wonder if that's gonna be like the theme of the album. That amorphous, it started sounding like energetic, like there's potential energy in it, and then it ended up in the opening track sounding like a church organ, like it was a funeral. So there's a lot of emotion and interpretations with that. When I think of jazz, I think of staccato movement in the rhythms. I don't think of a long drone in the background. It's sort of like a feeling you have in the back of your head that is constantly there throughout your day, or what you try to do to forget it. It's always there. So I wonder if it's going to be lurking throughout the music as this goes on. I also, sorry, I'm pausing this way too much at the start, but I love how effortlessly the band goes into a new groove and a new rhythm, a new emotion, just like that, out of nowhere. It gives these long songs different sections and different movements. Cool. I gotta find a better way to end my thoughts. I have a train of thought, and then it's cool. I'll get there. I'll get there. I was not expecting this to be such a danceable record. Okay, based off of the limited knowledge I had of this album and how it's by a jazz trumpeter, I expected there to be a lot more trumpet than there is, and it's been incredibly balanced so far. And I was listening to that rhythm guitar in the background, and even that has like this undulating, it's got this really cool rhythm, and so even like something as minor as that has a lot of movement, and it's working to add to the song. The trumpet's been amazing. Oh, when it had that gargly sound, sounds like a truck horn. It fits so well. That's like they had that dance group. I'm not gonna say cool. Not gonna say cool. These guys are locked into a groove. Every single one of them. There's the drone again. It all comes back to that. I mean, at least so far, it feels like that's the defining transition between movements and moments. And the thing that links them all is that one hum that it comes back to. It's like if you have like tinnitus, I think. Like when you're going to bed at night and there isn't any other sound to distract you. Sort of like that, where when all the other sound dies down, the hum comes back, and it's like the reminder of that opening statement. So it's really cool so far to have that thematic element. I'm really interested to see if that exists in the rest of the album. So it's striking a great balance of accessible but also deep at the same time. Like the music has depth and accessibility, which is really hard to have both of at the same time. Whoa. Hell yeah. I love that. Whoa. That ending was so cool. It went into like sci-fi territory for a second. Okay, hang on, let me restart this one. Now we're on to it sounded like Jethro Tull at the end there with that organ. So a little bit of prog thrown in. Yeah, what a bizarre but super cool way to end that track. Now we're on to Burning Gray, track number 3. Let's see what we're in store for. The longest track on the album. I was not expecting vocals at all on this record, so what a pleasant surprise. And what fitting vocals. It's like slam poetry mixed with some sort of melody. Matches perfectly with the vibe of the music. And wow, what a cool surprise. I wonder if they're gonna go back to that drone again. I wonder if this is going to be one that has multiple movements like Borealis Dancing did.
Walk your talk, watch your step, don't forget, 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 don't forget.
Wow, there's so much to this song. I love this song so far. This one reminds me of the Violent Femmes, their second album, Hallowed Ground. It was this super dark album, but it was also really had a lot of like organic instrumentation like this does. I'm getting the like really similar vibes, specifically the song Never Tell. It's like this 7-minute pitch black song. It's like the equivalent of like a slasher fic turned into a song. This one has that equally bleak atmosphere. It feels like a storm coming in without the band relying on becoming like a wall of sound so far. The way that she's repeating the words like she's possessed, and the trumpet and those drums, the like rolling timpani kind of. Nothing is comfortable about this song. I love this so far. That Discord is such an unhappy song. In the song, like I want to surround myself with it. They create such an atmosphere with it, with a swirling cloud of dark energy. I still, despite the fact that it's such an angry, like I just get such a dark gray vibe from it. I still just want to listen to it and appreciate all of the instruments going around my head, the protest that is rising. Burning Gray. on doing like my favorite albums of 2023 after all of this. I don't plan on doing like a ranking or anything, but I do want to give like superlatives for the year. And if I had a category, someone had like a $30,000 sound system, top end, state of the art speakers, turntable, the works, receiver, all that. And they said, you can play one album from 2023. I would play this album. I'm confidently saying that without listening to the other. I have like a ton of other albums that I want to listen to on these year-end lists. The thought of sitting in a chair and listening to all of these instruments in as high quality as possible, because it's clear that so much care went into the production. These violins that are in the background, they remind me of swans. I'm sort of getting, at least like the Sear era, very, very Swansy, like that dark, punishing, it's like crashing waves of sound. And that's what the repeating violin line sounds like to me. It's like pitch black water lapping up a beach. What's interesting comparing Borealis Dancing with Burning Gray is they're like polar opposite songs on so many levels. Borealis Dancing, lighthearted, danceable. Burning Gray, not lighthearted, dark, mysterious. But then also, Borealis Dancing had movements. It had 2 minutes of a certain melody. It had that drone, and then it would go on to a new one. They're like, oh, we gotta do a 7-minute song. Let's just do like 3 separate songs and call it one. Burning Gray took a theme and brought it to its extreme conclusion. It's really interesting back to back. You have one where it feels like the band has like ADHD or something, and you can't stay on one topic for more than 2 seconds. And then immediately following, they have a song that it feels like they could have gone another 10 minutes. Now we're on to... Right off the bat, I hate to cut that off, but what's the name of that song that is in all those commercials? It's the most like iconic cello line of all time. That I want to look this up. Yes, yep, I knew it. So this piece so far has reminded me of the Bach cello suite one, that one that everybody knows, that it has that earnest energy. It's very optimistic, but then also sounds like it's in mourning too. It's reminding me a lot of Aurora Rising, the opening track, where it went from one instant to this sound that it sounded optimistic, it sounded like it was a day full of potential, to 1 second later sounding like you're in a cathedral at a funeral. So it seems like it's sort of back to that theme, of sort of ambiguous or music with mood swings.
Coming down from the mountain, I have seen the high and mighty. I will go again someday, but for now I'm coming down. I have seen the information on the lighter side of dumbness. I have heard new statistics and the stomping on the ground. Going down to the desert, there are things that are worth avoiding, and it always makes me cross when them things get in my way.
I was wondering when the trouble was coming in. Okay, I'm going to talk about this more at the end. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but this sounds like a Pixar song right now. This sounds like it's with the way the trumpet's playing. This could be the opening of a Pixar movie.
Coming down from the mountain, I have seen the high and mighty. I will go again someday, but for now I'm coming down. Much I can always turn around.
Wow. I did not expect a folk song on this record. What a cool decision. Because compared to the previous two tracks, first of all, this is like half the length. It also is more than half, or less than half of the instruments. We went from Burning Gray, which it's going to take me forever to decipher all of the instruments and production elements that went into that one. Same with Borealis Dancing. So many things going on. And now we have The Mountain, which is like this big palate cleanser. But it also started with that really, really interesting cello into just a really nice folk song. I really liked that one just on its own merit. I don't think I've ever heard a folk song like that where it's just two vocalists and a cello in the background. Super simple, catchy little folk track in the middle of all of this chaos. Just really striking. I feel like a high school English teacher trying to find symbolism and meaning where there is none. Wow. This is Baba Louie, track number 5. This is 80s how it's made VHS tapes, or it's like breaking news. So we're back to sort of the Borealis Dancing vibe. I think importantly, they're bringing back a backbone of a drum. Yeah, you get into a rhythm. They're back into a groove for the first time since the second track, because Burning Gray did not have a groove. It had a lurch. So now we're back to sort of traditional, enjoyable jazz. great time to play this song. Burning Gray is, I feel like that's the emotional centerpiece of the album. And now The Mountain was kind of a palate cleanser, and now we're just, it feels like a weight has been lifted. It feels like we're through the morning, we're through the hardest part, and now it's like, I feel like I'm enjoying this song markedly more because I listened to Burning Gray prior to. It feels good. It feels good. I'm dancing like an idiot, but I don't care. It's so catchy and just light. I love that it's just a nice light track. One other thing I want to say, up to this point, especially with the song that came prior, The Mountain, where there was almost no trumpet on it at all, if I had gone into this truly blind, if I hadn't even seen the first part of the word trumpeter in the description up top, I would not be able to guess who Jamie Branch is among all these musicians. I would think maybe it was the cellist or the person playing the violin in because in Borealis Dancing and Burning Gray, it was such an important part of the songs and the mood that was set. But now Baba Louie, I would probably be getting an inkling that it's the trumpeter that's Jamie Branch really showcasing their talent, because there's some talent here. This trumpet is really, really cool. So this song's 9 minutes long, and so far there's barely been a single implication that it's going to be anything but sunny and rainbows the entire time. But it does, the violin was kind of in a mood a little bit. It felt like it was the one that was being the Debbie Downer. But I will say the past 30 seconds where it's had that da-na-na-na sort of vibe going on, it feels like a marching band walking down the street away from you. I wonder if they're going to change up the vibe. Now they've got another 5 minutes basically. That feels more nostalgic. Wild transition. I did kind of call that it was going to take a dark turn, but that was not how I expected it. That we're going wah, ooh, wah, wah. Did not see that coming. But when the drums went into that doo doo boo doo doo. The sleeky, jazz, swingy kind of sound. They put so much work in the production of this album. Like, I've seen liner notes where they specifically call out any point in the album that they had to make an edit because somebody played a wrong note or something, which is great. You know, it's really cool to, you know, technically impressive. But when the bands give themselves the ability and the leniency to really play with things in post-production, it just ramps up the sound and the feeling of the songs, the echoes and the swirling effect of the ooh-wahs. A lot of the vocal effects that they put onto the song just drive home the mysteriousness. You've gone from a place that is comfortable, warm, and happy into a mysterious, dark land. Like you wandered from the town into the woods, wandered a bit too far into the woods, and now you're hopelessly lost. The skies overhead are suddenly dark. You know, all the trees are knotted, and you know where they were once friendly and had leaves and flowers or something. A lot of that is because of the production and the way that they made this song and added to it in post, essentially. So, you know, the fact that they gave themselves that permission to do that added a lot to the album. Sound in the background. Wow. It's like indie rock feeling. It is interesting hearing a song that could almost be like a radio single on a jazz record. Hi. Like, this sounds almost like a punk song. Not almost, pretty much exactly like a punk song, but with a bit more of a jazzy backbeat. Few things that I've noticed have been a reoccurring theme with this album. One is the mood swings. This album has a tendency to blink of an eye, go from one mood to another. It's crazy how fluent they are in understanding emotions so much that changing one note can change your entire perspective. Electronic production, they've got that here. And also like the howling vocals, using voice as an instrument, they've got that here too. So this is really like a culmination of several themes of the album. Also, I feel like Take Over the World and Give It Back to the Land goes alongside what they were sort of getting to on Burning Gray. It's very punky, angsty messaging. I'm really getting a Fiona Apple vibe, especially Fetch the Bolt Cutters. It's really got that same Kitty, stop it. Fiona Apple vibe here. I like how that one wrapped back around. It definitely came across as the most normal song on the album. It still feels like this is like the single of the record. It had a straightforward message, almost like a verse, chorus, verse structure. So it felt structured. I think that's what I'm looking for here. That was the most structured song on the album. A digestible 5-minute track. That middle section was really, really interesting, super Fiona Apple-y. Because it's the most digestible song, it also feels like it's the least, it has the least depth of almost any song on here. Maybe And Kuma Walks, the prior song, had a little less to really dive into. Reprise is the last track. Notably, Reprise is on here. Reprise? I never know how to pronounce it. It is on here, usually meaning that there was a song of the same name somewhere else on the record, but there was not. So I wonder if there was a Fly or Die or Fly or Die 2 track that had World War on there. And this is a reprise to that, sort of bridging albums thematically. Or if, because the album title has World War in it, I wonder if this is a reprise to the entire record, if the entire 8 tracks leading up to this were the World War, and now this is the sort of post-mortem on it. So let's see what the song has in store for us.
What the world could be, if only you could see AOTY. So just publicize their wings of false flags, by the wings they are
Wow. Wow. I just want to sit with that for a minute. Like I was saying, one of the themes of the album, one of the recurring motifs, was the band's willingness, and it seemed like it almost had an itch to change moods multiple times in a song. And so on this track, for it to stay with that one emotion, it's definitely striking. And also, this one feels like it was mixed and inserted after the fact of Jamie Branch's death. This one definitely feels self-aware. Just the way that the trumpet started the song, and then again that element of post-production, when the trumpet felt like it was flying away, ascending to a higher plane. So striking. Just yeah, I'm at a loss for words about that. It was a really powerful way to end the album. I feel like I'm gonna start crying. Like, it was wow. I thoroughly enjoyed this record. I think it's important to stress. I feel like it's important to mention that there were multiple parts of this album that were just fun to listen to, that they didn't take themselves too seriously. In like Baba Louie, when everything became dark and mysterious, it was really humorous how they inserted those ooh-wahs, that like, even when everything was becoming dark and heavy, it still felt like it had an air of levity to it. There were so many songs where, God, it's just, like, there was that point where it sounded like it was a Pixar movie. There were parts where, like, I just wanted to dance along with it. The start of Baba Louie, Borealis Dancing really caught me off guard with how enjoyable the music was. And then, as much as I've been able to put into words how much I enjoy it, there's so much more that I can't say. I just can't put into words, because it's the rub with largely instrumental albums. A lot of it exists between your ears and can't exist anywhere else. This was a great record. Fly or Die, Fly or Die, Fly or Die, Jamie Branch,